Good evening, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic Sunday. This is the 26th of January, I think. All right, anyways, January day 364, right? That's what it feels like. Major holiday letdown. All right, so we're going to do some more meal preps. And a lot of people are really enjoying the pre-recorded versions. But some of you are mentioning you missed the live. So if you guys could drop down below what you prefer, or if you'd like to see a live food prep every once in a while, I'm happy to do either. It really doesn't bother me one way or the other. I feel like these are super quick because I can clean up in between, change out supplies and things like that, and then start it back and let you guys see. I think I'm going to do a lunch prep with my kids, and I may do that one live. So if you think that would be pretty fun, then let me know. If you'd rather me do it pre-recorded with the kids, then just let me know that. I'm going to pin my link tree down below, which has all the goods that represent me or that I represent. All the important things in life to me, whether I sell them or whether they're just my favorites, they're all listed in there. So tap the link tree if you're interested. And some of the Pampered Chef stuff, I mean, I've sold Pampered Chef for, gosh, how old's my youngest? 12 or 13 years, I guess. On and off. Not as like a serious business, but I just love Pampered Chef. My kitchen's full of it. Great tools that last me forever. So that's primarily what I use. If you have a favorite tool as we go along, then you can also drop that. But typically what I do is pull from a website called 5 Dinners 1 Hour. And you can purchase a meal plan. The price varies as to whether or not you want classic, clean eating, or a combination of both. You can pay quarterly or yearly. So then you have access to menus for the month, last month. There's several to pick from. So you go through, you pick your 5 dishes, you click on your saved menu. It's going to give you a nice little grocery list to pull from for your click list or your in-store list. And then you're going to print out all your recipes. Woo-hoo. And I think we have a mixture of classic and clean eating. It's probably mostly classic, which is okay. So I'm going to get started, and we're going to do number 1. My son requested fish this month. Shocker for me, but I'm happy to oblige. So I'm going to turn the camera. You may or may not see. I find people don't really care one way or the other, so it's not about me, it's about the food, right? Okay. I had to cook some meat. It's still a little warm, so I'm going to have to keep my prep service probably closer this way or further down that way. All right, so teriyaki salmon rice bowls. This is clean eating. Rice, carrots, and bell peppers. So we've got 2 bell peppers, any color. You're going to slice these up into thin strips and add to a Ziploc bag with all the remaining ingredients, including your handy-dandy salmon fillets. So you can pick your menu. Your serving sizes, sorry. As I'm, oh my goodness. I've sliced some of these already, you guys, so I'm going to put the onion out of the way here. And then we're just going to, sorry, my stove's still hot, so I'm having to move my prep surface. So we're just going to thinly slice our bell peppers. And I just have randomly a green and a yellow. I think my favorites are green and red, if I had to choose. They all have just a slightly different flavor that they bring, but I like them all. That's my favorite snack with hummus or cottage cheese. Yum. Or have you all ever tried a full-fat Greek yogurt? I will look into the camera. With dill in it or ranch like seasoning, and dip your vegetables in that. That's a good clean eating, healthy snack. So I am just slicing and dicing the peppers. I've already done the yellow one that I picked. I could just eat those by themselves like all day long. All right, so I got my bag here. And I'm going to scoop up my peppers. Y'all, I just can't handle the smell of fish when it's raw. Ugh. Oh, Lord mercy me. I'm just not a big fan of it. And I don't like to smell it when it's cooking either. It bothers me. It makes it hard for me to eat. All right. We've got this guy here, and we're going to add all the rest of the ingredients. So we've got 2 cups of matchstick carrots here. You can make your own or just buy them in a bag. That's what I do. Much easier. Quicker. 1/3 of a cup of liquid aminos. 1/3 of a cup going in. These are little nesting measuring cups here. And so I used a combination of, because I was out of these, so it's a mixture of the coconut aminos and the Bragg's soy. And I like both. This is soy free. So for those people who can't have soy, that, friends, is a good alternative. And I like the flavor of both. All right, we're going to do 2 tablespoons of lime juice. My favorite is freshly squeezed. For dishes like this, if it's going in a salad dressing I'm making, then I will freshly squeeze a lime or a lemon for that. But if it's just going to go in a dish, then I'm going to buy I try to get the, I don't want to say organic, but the ones without any added junk in there. More all natural. And then we're going to use 1/3 of a cup of olive oil. I think this is a little over 1/3, so I'm not going to put all of it in there. And then 1/4 cup of chili garlic sauce. All right, my little measure-all cup. I love this guy. So you get all the goods out of there. And I typically hand wash at least the inside part, but I will, the little outside collar, I will hand wash that too, just so it doesn't warp in the dishwasher. I have honey in 2 dishes. I didn't realize that. All right. Good thing I already had this measured out. And this is at Walmart, raw Mountain Ridge honey. You can get local honey, which we have a jar of that too. I will just mix it up and use both. Awesome. Oh, I didn't bring my, well, use what you got, right? I'll just wash this off before I need it to chop up anything else. So that's the honey. And then garlic. We want 2 teaspoons. So I like garlic presses. This is Pampered Chef as well. They sell a bunch. Pick your favorite. Doesn't matter. I like that you don't have to peel it, mess with it. You just press it, stick it in. And then you don't even have to touch the peeling. You're just going to scrape it off with the little spatula that is stored on the inside there. So, well, as I drop that, man down, man down. Okay. Toss him, I guess. All right. Well, I'm stepping on peeling. Yay me. Okay. Now that was super duper quick and easy, was it not? Teriyaki salmon rice bowls from the Clean Eating page. All right. So we're going to have to mix this up. On cooking day, you need 3 bags of frozen brown rice steamers. I will just get my Instapot out and I will just make some rice with that, right? Pour salmon and vegetables into a large baking sheet sprayed with nonstick spray. Bake in a 400-degree oven for 12 to 18 minutes. Cook rice according to package directions. That is super easy. And you're not going to, a lot of people have talked about, you know, what's realistic with how many dishes you dirty up on cook day. How bad's the cleanup? How, you know, what's the convenience factor? So thankfully the day of prep, we're going to make the majority of the mess, right? And we're going to clean it up and it's going to be one and done. So here, if you use aluminum foil over your baking sheet and spray it, then you just fold up the aluminum foil, toss it, put your baking sheet back in. You don't even have to clean that. And then if you do the rice steamers, there's only a bowl you stick them in to serve from, unless you use your Instapot or a rice cooker to make your rice. So very easy for meal 1. All right, meal number 2. And I failed to mention that the salmon, no worries, it's the dated as the 30th. It was like packaged, like sealed, vacuum sealed. That's the word I'm looking for, sorry. And it's good through the 30th, but we're going to serve it tomorrow night, and it's got good stuff in it to help sort of preserve it. So it'll be fine. If anybody else has any suggestions for storing fish until cook day, I try to use those meals up first. So next, my son wants to try tilapia. He's had it before, but he doesn't remember. But we're going to make it this week and refresh his memory. And I don't mind tilapia. It's not a fishy fish. Salmon is not a fishy fish. It's just harder for me to smell it in the raw form. And while it's cooking, it kind of turns me off. So maybe prepping it today and then not smelling it, but for just a few seconds, will help with that issue that I have. So anyways, this is Asian spiced tilapia. It's from the clean eating menu. Brown rice, sugar snap peas. We're not big fans of sugar snap peas. I may just fix frozen peas or saute some green beans. That's probably what I'm going to do because they really like that. And if I'm serving something they're not as receptive to, then I want to make the vegetables something that they're going to be excited about so that I'm not throwing a bunch of stuff at them, right? All right, so we picked a serving size of 6 because we're a family of 5. So it automatically goes up to 6. Here's my tilapia. And I'm going to spread these guys out because I just opened the package, dumped them in, right? So these look beautiful. And there's actually 4, but we're not going to eat a lot of this. I will probably eat just half of one of these. So no big deal. My youngest probably won't eat it at all, to be honest. So there you go. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 1.5 teaspoons of Chinese 5 spice powder. Here is the one. I'm going to leave it here. If you need to screenshot it, you can. It's gluten-free, Pampered Chef. They have new labeling. They're pushing out the old labeling, but I already had this one. Okay. I really like that a lot. You know me by now. I don't really measure. I already have my honey in here. It is 3 tablespoons, okay? So, bottoms up. It's like a half a tablespoon, but I did a little bit more because you know me. I like a lot of flavor. And then we're going to do 3 tablespoons of tamari. I don't have tamari. I have to-go packets of tamari. We're going to use La Choi's gluten-free. Okay, the kids really like that. And since I'm out of my soy aminos, then we're going to put that in there. And then I'm just going to take a small whisk because the honey's thick. And we're going to mix it up. And so we put the tilapia in a 9x13 baking dish, okay? And then we mix this in a bowl. And if you guys don't have these glass prep bowls, they come with lids. They have different sizes. There's like 3 different sizes of them. I love these. I use them all the time. Dun, 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 dun. Mix these ingredients in a small bowl. Pour over tilapia. Cover with plastic wrap. So I'm probably going to cover the dish with plastic wrap and with the lid over here that it comes from. And this is just good old Pyrex. Nothing fancy. So I will cover with saran wrap and then cover with, just to make sure it's airtight, because this is going to be served probably on Tuesday. So, and I checked the date. It's fine as well, so nobody worry. All right, bake uncovered 350-degree oven for 20 to 30 minutes or until fish flakes easily with a fork. Cook rice and sugar snap peas according to package directions. You know, you can serve whatever starch and vegetable you want. They just like to make suggestions to cut out any thought or guesswork there. But, you know, if you guys normally cook for your family and you know what you guys like, then naturally that's what you're going to use, right? All right, so that's meal number 2. Super fast, super easy. I'm going to cover it up and store it, and I'll see you guys in a hot second. All right, moving on to number 3. We have jalapeno popper quesadillas. And I've already cooked and shredded about 4 cup, hold please. Hold please. Oh, you know what? I combined the wrong ones, didn't I? Hold the phones. Hang on just a second. All right, sorry, I got distracted. This is jalapeno popper quesadillas. And we have 8 ounces of whipped cream cheese and a little bit of chicken I added from another dish that went in the wrong bowl. It's okay. Chicken in here is going to be fantastic anyways. We're going to add a cup of real bacon bits. So honestly, if you want to make your own, I like to bake my bacon at about 375 for about 30 minutes. And then you could set it out, drain it, let it dry, and then cut it up into bacon bits. And that's how you can make your own. These are pretty cool. Hormel. They make real bacon bits. But you're going to have, let's see. You're going to have just a little bit like potassium chloride, sodium diacetate. It's flavored with honey. I mean, you're going to have a few little slightly preservative-oriented items. Gluten-free. We're good there. We like bacon. Guess what? The whole kit and caboodle's going in here. One thing you have to be careful of is you got to make sure your fresh pack does not go in there. Oh. I always remember to search for that. Okay. So here's the rest of my whipped cream cheese. 4 cups of cheddar cheese. So you're going to dice jalapeno. So here's what I'm going to do. The kids don't like spicy. I've told you guys that. There's about 3 of us out of 5, 2.5 out of 5. We like spice. So I'm just going to use diced jalapeno peppers. I love fresh jalapeno peppers. But honestly, I didn't buy them. We have these. I'm just going to use those. So as I assemble those, I'm going to add jalapenos to the ones that need jalapenos. So what we're going to do is, so you could dice your fresh jalapeno, add it to the bowl, and then add the rest of the ingredients and mix well. So the 8 ounces of whipped cream cheese. I just got Walmart's brand. Bacon bits. And then here is what's left of my cheddar. And you could use like a cheddar cheese fiesta blend. If you don't like to shred your own, nobody's going to come to your house and point a finger. I mean, that's totally your choice. We like freshly grated, so I will cheat sometimes for convenience factor, especially if I'm fixing for a large amount of people or an event or something. Then I will probably go ahead and get the pre-shredded because, you know. And I love the shredder or the grater, and you can turn it. You push this in and you fold it up, and you can grate that way as well. So it's a little handy dandy there. Again, that's probably a little bit more than it called for. It's okay. We love it. All right. Mix them all up. Store them. I've got a handy dandy lid, and this is just the batter bowl. I've got the old school ones, and then this is the only newer one I have. So on cook day, you're going to need 12 flour tortillas. And I should have got those out. They say taco size, so. And here are Mission's gluten-free. That's what we're going to use. Aldi has some that are good. There's another brand that has the gluten-free too. So I have a mixture of gluten-free, non-gluten-free. And I can separate those. So on cook day, lay bottom tortilla on a large baking sheet. Spray with nonstick spray. Top with cheese mixture. And then another tortilla. Spray with cooking spray. Or brush with melted butter. Bake at 400 for 15 to 20 minutes. Serve with a salad. So I'm just going to mix this up and store it. You guys don't even have to be bored with that. All right, we're going to segue into the next meal. Crispy oven baked chicken tacos from the classic menu. Didn't I just do this? No, I did not. Holy moly. I'm losing my mind today. All right. So it calls for Rotel tomatoes. This one has lime juice and cilantro. In my book, that's just a bonus, but you could just use the regular ones. And this is Pampered Chef can opener too. I like this because you don't have to touch anything, technically. So when you hear that click, it's made it all the way around. You're going to turn it just a baby turn back the opposite direction. That's what releases it. I get questions about how to use it. There's a little button on the side here. It's pinchers. So you just put the pinchers down here. And then technically you don't have to touch it, but usually I'll touch it to go throw it away, right? And then it says to drain. Will you go put that in the sink? It says to drain your tomatoes. I kind of like the juices, but I get why. So I like to just take one of these guys, drain it out.
See?
Yeah. I have a helper now.
Well, I was about to ask where Ben keeps the key to the office.
I'll have to find, it's locked?
Yeah.
Oh. All right, so we did Rotel tomatoes drained. We did 4 cups of cooked shredded chicken. Those are in the bottom. I just get the thin skinless, boneless fillets, and I put them in a pan with olive oil, salt, and pepper. And then I take, I don't know, if y'all have not had a mix and chop, this is life. You typically use it for ground beef. I use this to shred my chicken in the pan, and it's not going to hurt your pan. It's got a finish to it, so pretty quick, pretty easy. You could get a rotisserie chicken and just shred it up and use that. Those are pretty fantastic and not all that expensive too. 2 cups of shredded Mexican cheese. I just did regular cheddar. I because I shredded it fresh. And then we're gonna do a pack of taco seasoning. There's several you can pick from. McCormick's is great for gluten-free taco seasoning, and it tastes pretty darn good. So we're going to toss that in. Trash, please. And then 1 onion, salt and pepper to taste. I already salted and peppered the chicken. I'm not going to do a lot of salt because the taco seasoning probably has enough sodium in it. But I love me some pepper, so that's going in. All right, last but not least.
Some onions.
And I've got to split this red onion up.
I'm gonna scare Levi.
I've got like 2 more dishes that need, or 1 more dish that needs some onions. So we're gonna share. I don't like a whole onion. Ooh, that's probably too much. What do you think, Isaac?
Yeah.
This is a whole onion, so. Okay.
Poor Levi. I'm scared.
Going in.
Did you tell him?
All right, are you gonna mix, shake to mix, and then seal it and store it for me? So on cook day, you need 12 hard taco shells.
Are you gonna tell them about Levi?
I did in stories. This is a pre-recorded. Did they cheat me of my taco shells? Oh no.
Oh, yeah, because you got a bunch of soft ones.
I don't have my. They substituted soft shells for my hard shells, so I'm gonna have to go to the store. All right, so hard taco shells. I think Old El Paso. I was looking to see what we had. The Dorito flavored ones are usually gluten free. And in fact, we might be out of those. I usually have a partial pack. All right, so 12 hard shell tacos. 1 cup refried beans. You can make your own if you want. You could try some Old El Paso. It's pretty good, and it is typically gluten free. Let me read and make sure. I'm just used to getting things now that, yep, it's good. So, and the kids love refried beans. So 1 cup of that, 1/4 cup freshly chopped cilantro, taco toppings such as salsa, sour cream, guacamole, cheese, whatever it is you want. 2 packages, and see, this is another reason to go back to the store. I only got 1 package of Spanish rice. Zatarain's is pretty good about being gluten-free. A lot of your seasoned rices have fillers that are wheat-based, so you want to be careful with those. Even though it's a rice and you think, well, rice is gluten-free, it could be manufactured on equipment that manufactures wheat products, so cross-contamination if you're celiac or very sensitive. So I look for that label to be sure. I go to the ingredients list or I call the number on the back to verify. So I probably need to pick up another package of these as well. And then a bag of tortilla chips, 2 cups of salsa. So cooking directions: spread the refried beans in the bottom of each shell. Top with chicken mixture. Place in a large baking dish. Bake 350 for 12 to 15 minutes until chicken is heated through. Top with cilantro, toppings, and then cook your rice. Serve with chips and salsa. So again, that's up to you on how you want to handle that. So, bam, we're zipping through. All right, last but not least, we have slow-cooked French dip sandwiches from the classic menu. Okay. This one's probably going to be the most complicated to put together, but all in all, not that complicated, okay? So, ingredients needed for assembly. So, you're going to just slice your onion and place in a Ziploc bag along with the next 6 ingredients. So, I drew a line so I wouldn't just keep on rolling down the line, right? So I've got my roast, and I like to put onion in there for flavor, so I didn't dice it up. I just sort of peeled it apart in layers there. So you're gonna do the onion, the beef chuck roast. They gypped me on the size, but this should be enough. We'll be fine. Teaspoon of garlic powder. Going in, that's Badia, however you say it. The label fell off. And then tiny amount of onion powder, like a half a teaspoon. Half a teaspoon of dried thyme. Love that one. I just guesstimate. I mean, get your measuring things out and go to town and figure it out, because that sometimes stresses people out not to have it measured. And I understand. And so the thing is, if you're unsure, follow the ingredient or the recipe to a T, and then you'll eat it and go, okay, I don't taste enough of this, or it needs more salt, or then you make notes. What I do is I make notes on my recipe. That's why I like going the old school way and printing them out or writing them in a book or whatever, organizing them. Because if you tweak something, then you've got it down in writing when you go back to refer to it. I especially do that on holiday meals and things, because that's important. You don't want to mess that up. All right, Worcestershire, 2 tablespoons. Again, Liam Perrin's, and I think French's is gluten-free. I'd have to look. I've bought that brand ever since I was an itty bitty, like my parents bought it. And then we had a tradition from time to time and I forget at what age it started, when I was older, because we didn't do this my whole life, but Friday nights was steak on the grill, baked potato, and salad. Favorite night of the week. What better way to keep your kids at home and not out doing things they shouldn't? When I was a teenager, I looked forward to Fridays. I wanted steak dinner. So I plan on being home, and I enjoy being home. I enjoyed family dinners. So, you know, this is sort of the goal here. Is get the family together for dinner, put the phones down, all the things. All right, so thinly sliced cucumber and red onion, and add to a large container. So what I did was, and you're gonna do a half a cup of sour cream. So if you're gonna make this more clean, use plain full fat Greek yogurt. That is a way to sort of, and I kind of wish I would have done that actually, so. And I'm using red onion. Did it specify? Yeah, it did. It said red onion. All right, a tablespoon of sugar. Here's where now that's not so clean. You'd have to put coconut sugar or skip the sugar or use maybe some honey to sweeten, or agave nectar. I know I have some in here. Let's see. Nope. I have it somewhere. Agave nectar is a good substitute, or you could use stevia. Stevia is the natural, sugar-free, plant-based sweetener. So avoid artificial sweeteners at all costs if you can. I know it's hard these days, but they're so bad for your gut. And they will cause just weird symptoms that GI doctors can't figure out, and then they take you off your artificial sweeteners, and boom, the symptoms subside or get better. I've seen it happen. I did GI for 3 years, family practice for 10. I saw that happen a lot. So that's just based off of my personal experience of watching that happen. But I'm just using regular sugar. And so the lesser of the evils there is going to be sort of an unrefined or unprocessed pure cane sugar. Something organic. So that's a good, suitable compromise there, if you want to put it that way. So we did onion, sour cream, sugar, and then fresh dill. I've used this before. This is the Tropical brand. And it smells delightful, y'all. This is like closest to fresh you're going to get without fresh. And so to reactivate the herb I'm using, I just like to rub it, which just sort of releases some of that aroma there. And it said 2 tablespoons. Okay. Generous. Okay, I think that's great right there. That's going to be great. This smells fantastic. I love dill. Cilantro, dill, those are probably 2 of my favorite herbs. All right, white vinegar, and of course you know me, good old Bragg's apple cider vinegar with the mother root in it. And I believe in one of my other lives I went over the benefit of mother root. So This calls for a tablespoon. And look, I've already got one I just used for the sugar. Why not just... Because that, you kind of don't want to overdo the amount of vinegar. You want a nice, healthy ratio there so that your level of acidity does not sort of outweigh everything else. And looky there. I got a piece of onion that didn't want to cut up. Let's throw that away. I try to get that outer layer of the onion. Oh, looky here. And we're not done yet. We're not done yet. Okay. So it calls for 2 seedless cucumbers. Mine have seeds. Big whoop, right? Thinly sliced. Okay. Look at these guys. So I'm going to take, this is sort of like a newer version of the mandolin that's less deadly, right? We all have probably mandolin horror stories, I feel like. I never did, but my neighbor, she sliced off the end of her thumb. And, of course, I worked at a medical practice, so I took her down there and took care of her. I felt bad. I mean, she loves Pampered Chef, but it's inevitable, I feel like, with that mandolin that you're going to... So look how nice and thin these guys are. If you want to make homemade pickles, things like that. Food slicer is wonderful. So, I mean, obviously, you're not going to get all the way down. You could turn it sideways. So I'm just going to stick this guy in here. Sure. Your hand's protected. You're not going to destroy it, but I just love that. Isn't that great? Okay, so I'm going to do the rest of these cucumbers. Some find this therapeutic. Watch. Some find it boring. Hold please, I shall return. Or actually, this is the last meal, so hot dog. So we're just gonna, so you stir and refrigerate. That's all you're gonna do. So I'm gonna do the rest, and I might just put a wee bit of salt and pepper in here, okay? So we're just gonna store this in the fridge. And look, we're ready to go. Cook day. Put a roast mixture and 2 cups of beef broth into a slow cooker. Cook on low for 8 to 10 hours. In the last 30 minutes of cook time, thinly slice the roast, like pull it out on a plate, thinly slice it, return it to the crock pot. I'm sure you could shred it and just do shredded beef, you know, with 2 forks, just pull it apart. Whatever your preference is. If you want thin beef slices or if you want shredded beef, that's what you're going to do. Put it back in the crock pot and let it finish cooking. And then you're going to slice the rolls. So you're just going to get like hoagie rolls, or whatever form of bread. And I'll probably just use the ciabatta bread, the char for Maya, and then regular ones for us. And what else? You can butter the inside. You can sprinkle them with garlic powder. Add sliced meat to the roll. Top with cheese. Serve with au jus that comes out of your slow cooker. So you created your au jus in the slow cooker. You can do it on the side and just dip your sandwich in it if you would like to. So put it in little bowls. And then you're going to do French fries. We love French fries. And Ore-Ida, is that the one I have? Hold please. Gluten-free. Cook those according to package directions. You could do mashed potatoes. If you want to do it clean, then don't do sweet potato fries or something. That's a little bit more clean, right? So you could kind of substitute that. If you're doing gluten-free bread or open-faced, so it's less bread, you're going to be more along the clean eating lines. And then serve with the yummy creamy cucumber salad. I'm excited. I love salads like this. So I hope this was helpful. If you guys are wanting to see some other things, then just drop them in the comments. I am going to, I don't know if it's going to be this week or next. I want to do a lunch prep with the kids, and I may do it live. Let them pick their meals, what they want, because it's always a mad rush in the mornings to get their lunches put together. And inevitably, it's easy to default to the Lunchables because you just throw them in there with some chips and a drink and some yogurt and maybe a fruit or a vegetable or both. So this would be a good way to sort of plan ahead. But I have to get I didn't order groceries for that this week. And then there's a few items I didn't get, like the bento box, the disposable ones. It looks like Gladware. I could probably get the reusable ones too. So anyways, that may be in the works. If you guys are interested in anything else, just drop it below. If you don't mind sharing this, spread the love from my page to yours. My page on Facebook is Kim Credible Life. If you don't already follow, just touch the screen, hit the follow and notifications button for when I do go live. If you're interested, I will post my link tree with all the goods, my favorites, any websites that I promote, or just things that I really like are going to be in that link tree. So I hope you guys enjoy and have a great week.